for one thing, I would distinguish too between private institutions and public institutions. I mean, you can have different visions for what a university ought to be and how it ought to characterize itself. I would say certainly with public institutions, they're beholden to the First Amendment, right? We should have as neutral an institution as possible that sticks to the First Amendment. You're right that we can't be naive about the politics involved in the politics that have led our universities to where they are today. But I think we need to distinguish between what we want our universities to be, the end that we're pursuing, and the means that we need to use to get there. And we need to somehow try to use those means in a principled way that'll get us to that end. And I think what we want are colleges and universities that are devoted to free and open inquiry, that are devoted to the pursuit of truth, that are cultivating young Americans to be good citizens, that are preparing them for fruitful careers, right? We don't want institutions that are the sort of reverse image of what the left wants them to be. Now, at the same time, I think we need to also recognize that the sort of institution that we want is something that needs to be accomplished through policy and through a political process. Right? If you think about even establishing a society that values and protects free speech, that itself is a political accomplishment, right? So we can't sort of operate in some kind of pure ether where we just expect people to observe institutional neutrality and free speech. We have to recognize that there are people who don't value those things. And there are people who are working against them. And we need to put in place policies, procedures, and people who can ensure that our institutions will remain devoted to the ends that we want them to serve, even if there is room in those institutions for people that don't value those things.